Hello everyone. I hope everyone's doing fine. How you guys doing? Happy to be here. Nice to see you guys. Nice day. How you guys handling this overall chop situation on Bitcoin? No decent price action so far. Looking for more downside possibly. So definitely looking for more downside. How you guys following it? Hello Oliver, hope you're doing fine. Kenneth. Oh, nice, man. Nice that you are streaming the audio. That's good. Waiting for some more people to join so we can start. All right. Sinos, hey, brother. Hope you're doing fine. How's everyone? Loud and clear, the Almighty. Awesome, man. All good here, brother. Thanks for asking. Okay, so I think we are good to start. All right, so um, I hope you guys are doing fine with the current market conditions. They are not the best, in my opinion. With the current Iran and Israel war, everything is kind of mess right now because basically everyone is waiting for what Trump is about to say or for what Trump is about to do and so on. So it's definitely a tricky situation to be in, on the current market situation as far as I can tell. Um, some are expecting the market to go up, some are expecting the market to go down. We have a lot of room to fall, to be honest, but we also have a lot of room to go upside. So the thing is, we need to follow price action independently of what we think about it can happen with war, because it's not only Iran and Israel. Yeah, that might be the main headline, right? But at the end of the day, we are also dealing with Russia and Ukraine. We are also dealing with Fed not lowering rate hikes, you know, and many more things, and possibly many more things to come as well. We cannot let this get into our heads and start like FOMOing or trying to find excuses to get into the market when there's not yet a moment to do so. But yeah, Oscar, yeah, I've been waiting to dump fat load into Ethereum alts. Yeah, definitely. If we look into altcoins, there's definitely a lot of opportunities out there. But let's dive into today's topic, guys. Today we are going to see several volume tools and how to use them um, in your trading strategies. All right. So first we are going to see BRBP. Okay. Visible range volume profile. We're going to see PVP, which is periodic volume profile. We're going to see VWAP, right? And we are going to see how we can mix all of this together, right, to have the best results possible in our charts. All right. So let's start adding BRBP. All right. Okay, like I always do, guys, I almost forgot. Let me know in the chats which asset volume study on that asset specifically. Let me know in the chats. Okay, we have one BTC, one ETH. Both guys, both. We have 96 people in the room. I'm not seeing your messages. Sol. Okay, Bitcoin is winning the battle. Bitcoin is still winning the battle. Luna is new. Bitcoin. Bitcoin, ETH, Sol. So I think, yeah, Bitcoin and ETH basically are winning the battle so far. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Bitcoins, 1, 2, 3 Ethereums. All right, guys. So let's go with Bitcoin this time. Okay. So the first thing you need to do is add on your chart the BRBP, which is the visible range volume profile, which I don't know why it's not appearing. Give me a second. Volume profile, visible range. Okay, so it seems like it's not appearing, but I normally have it on my charts already. Yeah, BRBP. We have it over here. I don't know why it's not appearing over here on indicators. BRBP. That's so weird. Okay, let me reload this chart. All right, it seems that it was already on the chart, so that's why it wasn't appearing. Okay, so this is the BRBP. You can set my configurations, guys. So number of rows, 610, total volume and value area volume. This is irrelevant. You can put it on 100, to be honest, because we are not seeking the value area low, value area high values, neither the points of control. So basically, this is the way that you will configure it. All right, and the style. Normally I turn everything off, even the developing value area, and my colors are white, 10% opacity for both up volume, area up, which is everything you need here. Okay, and the width percentage, it doesn't really matter. It's only going to make it look a bit nicer in your charts. Okay, so how is it possible to use this in our advantage, right? Because if we don't have this, we only have price, right? Now, the best way we can use this in our advantage is to understand the overall concept of volume profile, by which we have two concepts that are extremely important to understand: the high volume nodes and the low volume nodes. Okay? Often in a high volume node, that's when we see high volume nodes, right? Something like this. And in low volume nodes is often when we see valleys in the volume profile. So this would be a low volume node, this would be a low volume node, and over here, this would be a low volume node, right? So if I activate this, well, first of all, what we need to understand here is why they're important, because in high volume nodes, the more often price action is range or consolidation. Why is that? Because basically, right, when we talk about low volume nodes, we are talking about either rejections, okay, or breakouts. All right, it's why price behaves this way in these low volume nodes, because price is in seek of fair value. Price is seeking fair value. All right, so this is extremely important to understand, because as you can see here, we have several low volume nodes, high volume nodes. You see, like we have high volume node, low volume node, high volume node, low volume node. Here, high volume node, low volume node, and so on. You see, we can draw this to better understand what is happening. All of these high volume nodes, low volume nodes, we always need to relate them with price. Specific influence. Oh, okay, it's lagging. Sorry, guys. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. It might be my internet connection. Now it's back. Can you guys confirm it's back now? Okay, awesome. Yeah, it possibly my internet connection. We are dealing with some power outages here currently, so internet sometimes just go to hell and it doesn't work. All right, so awesome. Thank you guys, thank you very much for letting me know it's back. So let's go ahead, and what we're going to do is going to try to find the low volume nodes first, okay, aligned with either highs and lows or liquidity gaps. Okay, yeah, I'm going through it again, guys. All right, so we are searching for low volume nodes, okay, in price and in volume that are aligned with highs and lows or liquidity gaps. All right, and why is this going to be helpful? For example, we have a low volume node over here, right? Have a low volume node around here, and we also have, okay, around this level specifically, we have a liquidity gap. You see, we have a liquidity gap over here, which has been serving as a support in previous declines from Bitcoin itself. Okay, so that's why this is helpful, because normally what you would do is trace support around here, because this is the one that has been lately working for Bitcoin, but the overall real support is around here. Okay, and as you can see, low volume nodes work for rejections. All right, so what we are seeing here is a overall rejection of this support area. Okay, now, I think we are on the 10-hour. It's always better to do this on the daily and weekly. Just let me change. Okay, let's go to the daily chart. Okay, now daily chart looking nicer. We have this low volume node around here, okay, which is aligned with this liquidity gap. All right, and it's also aligned with this previous low over here. So we have a better zone to recognize where Bitcoin might bounce in the near future, or where Bitcoin might be headed right now. As you can see, the previous downfall that happened when Israel and Iran entered war didn't touch this level. So as you may see, like, price is trying to go up, but it seems that it's lagging from liquidity that might be hidden over here, you know. So now we have this support. Now we have another area around here with this low volume node, but we don't have any liquidity gap to the upside, because basically this is all new price action, right? So we have another zone here, you see, because normally if price do this, like, for example, if price do this, many people are going to get in because they will be looking for breakout trades, right? But since we are talking about a low volume node, price can easily reject this level once again. Okay, so we currently have these two zones, and now what's important here is that price is currently trading inside a high volume node, you see. And what's the behavior inside a high volume node? It's a range or consolidation, because we have found fair value for Bitcoin right now. Okay, so now we are mixing this concept to understand the overall context of what Bitcoin is doing right now. And when an asset is trading inside a range, what you want to seek when trading is looking to look for trades in the extremes, not in between, because in between you're going to get trapped, because the market can easily keep doing this for a long time, and you are going long here, then going short here, then going long here, then going short here, and so on, you know, and then you keep burning your account. You don't want to trade in this situation. What you want to do is wait for Bitcoin either to reach this level, look for longs or potential breakdowns, retests, and continuations, or wait for Bitcoin to reach this level, look for a rejection or a breakout, a pullback, and then continuation to the upside. So we have several trade setups that we can look for, okay? But only by being patient is that you are going to wait, okay? And wait for Bitcoin to interact with these levels properly before you start looking for positions, all right? Now, in terms of this, we can also look for more potential support zones for Bitcoin in the future. Okay, so for example, in my opinion, we have a small low volume node around here, which is also aligned with this liquidity gap around here. Okay, so I'm pointing that out. We also have this liquidity gap around here, which is aligned with this low volume node. Okay, and we have a small low volume node around here as well. We can set this as a zone as well, possibly this one. I like this one better. Okay, we have another zone around here. So you see, we are mixing the concepts. We are mixing price with volume. Understanding the overall concept of what the volume profile is telling us, we can know what might happen if Bitcoin reaches this level, if it breaks out, what happens around here, because we are in a high volume node, right? So if Bitcoin reaches this level, we might see a consolidation before completely burning down back down until we reach a new fair value. You know, high volume nodes are fair values for price. So price is constantly looking for fair value. All right. Now that you have the levels, you know what to expect inside these areas and how. Why is it important to know what to expect? Because we are not trying to guess the market, but we're trying to understand it. And as soon as you understand concepts, you know what is most likely for price to do, right? When we are trading inside a range, what is most likely for price to do? When it hits range lows, it's most likely to rebound and go to range highs. When we hit range highs, it's most likely to rebound and go towards range lows. You know, breakouts are not happening that often because for a breakout, the market needs to be trending. Okay, and in statistics, okay, in numbers, in data, markets tend to range 80% of the time while being on a trend only 20% of the time. You see, we know the data and we know that markets are normally only trending 20% of the time. You see, and that's why normally breakouts are very explosive. You see, consolidation like 80% of the time, breakout, consolidation, breakout, consolidation, small breakout here, and overall consolidation around here. So you see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 consolidations, okay, and only 2 real breakouts happening, and then 1 attempt to breakout which was unsuccessful. All right, so what you want to avoid is that when you hit the level of support, don't go ahead and short this level, because the most likely scenario is that we're going to bounce, and most likely you are going to get trapped here with your short. Wait for a breakout, because price will always offer a pullback, and then you enter the trade. Price always offer a pullback, guys. Don't be impatient. It's better to open the trade on a pullback than entering the trade on a breakout, unless you are a scalper and you are trading a breakout strategy. Okay, because if you are trading a breakout strategy, that's completely fine, and it can have a nice win rate and it can have nice data behind it, right? But in terms of macro, always wait for the pullback, even if it takes time. You know, like here, for example, we have the market ranging. You see, market ranging for 80% of the time. Then the market trends for only 20%, then keeps ranging for a lot more time, and then we have the pullback. The pullback, so you are literally entering where you should have entered on the breakout, but you have confirmation of this move. You see? So this is how I should probably do it, all right? But the overall thing that we are seeing right now, okay, the overall thing that we are seeing right now is how to interpret volume with this, okay? Now that we have clearly explained the visible range volume profile, let me look at your questions, guys. Is there a probability to go up without claiming the lower levels? Yes, definitely, brother. I mean, like, price can do whatever it wants. Okay, even if we try to understand price, or even if we want to try to guess what price is going to do, it can always do what it wants. It's possible that we don't go to this level and price just go up, right? What are you going to miss? Nothing, because if it goes up and it breaks out, you wait for the little pullback here, and then you enter the market, and you secured your position. You need to wait for the market to develop. That's extremely important, and something I learned back then, because I was trying to make all of these scenarios in my head in which, okay, Bitcoin might do this. Well, in that time I was trading gold, so gold might do this and gold might do that. If I have this, if I had that, and I imagined all the possible scenarios for gold, right? And when the time comes, it did completely different from my expectations. And not only that, but I end up frustrated because I couldn't take any trade from it. Or if I did, just because of the sake of being on a trade and like FOMOing into the market, I ended up losing. So my analysis was basically useless. Okay, so yeah, it definitely can go up without touching any level. We are just drawing lines, guys. Drawing lines and making conclusions. At the end of the day, the power is the market itself is more powerful than that. Is there a live video tutorial that shows how to get charts like the ones traders use? It is free and easy to do. What do you mean, brother? Can't understand it. Hey, do your strategies only apply to people who have a TradingView subscription? If we don't have TradingView, how could we access these tools? Well, I mean, like volume profile, it's a very useful tool. I would recommend you guys get a TradingView subscription if you want to become a trader. Like that's step number one. Okay. TradingView basically has everything you need to do so. So yeah. Hey Bas, can a doji candle at the bottom of a trend can be a sign of reversal to an uptrend showing a support level? Yes, definitely. Dojis are good highlightings of the market slowing down in a certain direction. So yes. Do you combine accumulation, manipulation, distribution with volume? Can you show us how it's positive if possible? Yeah, that screener, it's also possible to see volume as well. And yeah, all of these like accumulation, manipulation, distribution is like the ICT rules, I think, like accumulation, manipulation, right, and then distribution. So basically you have accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. All right. So yeah, this can be done on any chart, to be honest, because it's not a concept that actually ICT made it for itself. Like he just put another name to this, and it's basically a failed action movement up to a breakout, right? And also Wyckoff talked about it. So basically it's just this kind of movement in which you have an accumulation, then a manipulation outside of the range, then the market goes back to the range and it starts moving on the opposite side for the distribution move. You see? So this is Wyckoff theory as well. I would definitely suggest you guys to go check it out. That was one of my foundations for trading, actually. What are some indicators that mark the bottom accurately or mark the top also accurately? Well, brother, let me tell you that there's no such thing. Unfortunately, I'm not here to break your hearts, but there's at least as far as I know, there's no indicator that I can actually show you the bottom or top exactly, because otherwise I will be a millionaire already, if not a billionaire. But yeah, there are definitely indicators out there that can show you possible tops and possible bottoms forming. Okay, and that's how you take decisions on trading. Having a point of view of investing in Bitcoin, what are your thoughts since having this lower price level? Well, in terms of like investing in the long run, right now Bitcoin is holding nicely. Okay, this would be our daily higher low. This would be our daily higher high around here. Okay, the weekly chart. Okay, on the weekly chart we can clearly see this weekly higher high around here, this weekly higher low. All right, so in terms of like investment, it still remains to be a good investment, Bitcoin, because we are still on a bull market. Now, can we have a deeper pullback, like something like until 50% of this upside move? Yes, or possibly like 100% of this upside move and take the liquidity below this and fulfill all of this liquidity gap? Yes, it's also possible, you know. But from an investment perspective, I would buy if we get to the 50%. I would buy here, okay, and I would buy if we have a real breakout, like for long term. And that also comes from a daily perspective. You know, if on daily we move towards this level around here, the daily market structure is going to turn bearish. So in order for you to buy, you need like daily confirmation to DCA basically. But we are still on a bull market, guys. The fact that it's not going like crazy, like, you know, like this kind of bull market over here, or the past bull markets that Bitcoin literally only went up and up and up and up and up. Okay, we are having a different type of market situation right now, different macroeconomical situation, different amount of money in the market. We are now more linked to legacy markets as well, you know, ETFs, all that stuff, leading the cryptocurrency market into like more controlled kind of market. So it's obvious that we cannot expect, something similar like we saw in 2017 or 2013. Long-term investings. Once liquidation show 1 billion rec, doesn't that normally show the bottom? Yes, well, definitely. If you have found that liquidations can actually give you a hint of when the bottom is set, then you can definitely look into the charts and back test it. You know, look for every time that liquidations show at least $1 billion wrecked, and look at the Bitcoin chart. If at least like 70 or 80% of the times that was real, then you have an indicator, you have a statistical edge, you know. So that's how you test that stuff. Do you feel like this year will be the last bull market due? Well, I'm not sure about that, brother. Like, why should this be the last bull run ever? Like, it would be the same as asking like, does the S&P is never going to have like one more bull run? You know, these are scarce markets. You know, like the nature of Bitcoin is to continually grow in price over time, because it's constantly augmenting its demand and lowering its offer. So only by law, like only by supply and demand law, we should see higher prices in Bitcoin in the coming years. Like, I don't know, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years from now. Who thinks that Bitcoin can reach $1 million? Like, a previous years ago, you would never have think that Bitcoin was actually going to reach $100,000, you know. But that's the nature of this asset itself. That's why investing it for long term is the best strategy that you can do. Okay, so let's continue, guys. Otherwise, I'm going to talk about other things here. Let's continue. All right. Now that we have this, let's talk about PvP instead. Yes, exactly, Claudio. You know, like, crypto is getting more and more private and hedge fund capital. You know, banks are getting involved, regulations, all that stuff. Okay, crypto is very likely to become like the stock market. in the incoming years, if it's not already like it. Okay. And yeah, we are going to see different percentages of gains. Like, I personally would think that you forget about this kind of like 1,000% ROI on, at least if you get like lucky, you know. At least Bitcoin is not going to do that in my perspective from now on. Okay, but it's going to be a nice investment and a good reserve of value, and that's enough in my opinion. All right. Now the next indicator that we are going to use is PVP, which is periodic volume profile. And how we're going to use this is to look for the naked points of control. Okay, naked points of control are where price, the input, for at least for the daily chart, let's put it on monthly. Let's put it on quarterly. We have one naked point of control around here. We had one here. Sorry guys. Yeah, I think we'll leave it on monthly. Okay, and we don't care about the volume profile here. We don't care about value area low, value area high. Yeah, we only care about point of control. All right. Why is point of control a good thing? Okay, something that we need to constantly take into consideration. All right. If you guys saw my action market theory video a couple of weeks ago, you see that the fifth law of the action market theory is that when a price reaches a naked point of control and it rejects it hardly or immediately, it can overdrawn the law number 1, which is that price, when it visits a fair value area, okay, it's very likely to revisit both extremes of the value area before control. Hardly, it's very unlikely that it will revisit the value area low and then continue. You know, that's why having the naked points of control in your charts, or at least make them visible, is extremely important, guys. Okay, and you can do this not only from a daily perspective, you know, like monthly, but from an intraday perspective as well. If I go, for example, into the 10-minute chart over here, you know, let me check. Yeah, 10-minute chart. Okay, I have here SBP, which is basically the same as PVP, but for session, you just need to put your PVP on daily, and it will be exactly the same. We're going to see how these naked points of control often serve as good places for entries. Okay, we have daily point of control around here, top, you see, naked point of control over here, bottom. You have naked point of control here, a little bit of consolidation. Okay, let's see if we have more points of control around here. See, naked point of control, bottom, rejection, and we have one naked point of control that is left to be magnets to price. Okay, not only from a daily perspective, all right, but also from lower time frames perspective. I would suggest that you use this on a daily perspective. Oh, my bad. Yeah, we have here the SBPs, you know, like naked point of control, and so on. We have several supports to the downside and one to the upside. Okay, so definitely something to consider here as support and resistance levels in the future. You just activate these and you're going to see how price often reacts to this. All right, and the third indicator, okay, the VWAP is a very interesting. You see, like, not only price, VWAP is often used, for example. Okay, all right, you are going to see, oh, sorry guys, yeah, I want VWAP to be active as well. VWAP, all right. If I take into consideration, okay, the previous yearly VWAP closes, hey guys, can you confirm it's lagging again? That's so weird. on my end is working pretty smooth. So please check your connection. Okay, yeah, because on my end it's running smooth, guys. So please also check your connection. All right. Okay, so basically what you do is activate the VWAP standard deviations 1, 2, 3, and then you start drawing. All right, and I'm going to put this on 2 pixels, 3 pixels, and put them possibly on green. Okay, you will draw these levels of support and resistance from these standard deviations alone on your chart, and you are going to see how price after this yearly confluence it's going to react to these prices and these and these and this. From the previous year VWAP standard deviations, that's how price has reacted to the current year price formation. Consolidation inside range, breakdown, rejection of support, rejection of resistance, consolidation, rejection, consolidation on resistance, serve as support, continuation, and top, current top as well. You see? Only from doing this, literally. Yes, hey brother, yeah, I'm going to show the VWAP settings. It's basically just the same. Don't care about the colors. Like if I reset view, okay, so you have to activate the bands multiplier and the bands multiplier 3 over here, and then click on anchor period for yearly, and that would be it. Let me erase drawings. So those would be the settings. All right, brother. No problem, pleasure. So when this year ends, you can do the same for the macro support and resistance levels that will hold price over time. You see, like for example, if we do the same, you may ask yourself, like, what happens in a bull market? Like for example, here, you see, like this would be my resistance level for the next year. This would be my next support level for the next year, and yeah, but the market continued to the upside, and I don't have enough more reference to know where the market is going to stop. So basically, you just do like, 3, then you can put 4, 5, and 6 as standard deviations. See, so now we have new resistance levels for the next year. This is not magic, guys. This is literally how the market works. You see? And if I keep drawing support and resistance from the previous year VWAP, then that's what I'm going to have, right? Those are the standard configurations. Now, for example, if I see a lot of volatility coming in, what I can do is, instead of using 1, 2, 3, you can use like 1.5, 2.5, 3.5. It's going to extend the standard deviations a little bit more. See, like it depends, and you need to back test it in order to know if it works. All right. What I have seen is that mostly it would be better if you use just 1, 2, 3. You need, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. That would be enough. Like for example here, from previous year, this level worked as the bottom for the continuation of, and this was the breakout confirmation for the Bitcoin bull run. See, so I'm not, you see, like this works. This actually works. One level here, another one here, another one here, another one here, and another one. You could have literally picked the bottom of the bear market on the previous years, like 2022, only by using the VWAP. Literally. You see? Bottom. Support, break that. You see, like support, breakout, resistance, and so on. It's still working, actually. See, but literally by using the VWAP, it's an amazing tool to catch these support and resistance levels. Now, since we have right now what we have right now, it's like how can I mix this with the concepts I know? You know, like we have these levels, the ones that I might be working right now with. Okay, we have this one and we have this one over here as well. Now I turn this off and then go to the BRVP over here and try to see where these levels are located. Okay, so this level alone is a low volume node. This level is a low volume node. This level is a low volume node. This level is also a low volume node, and this is also low volume node. So that's why we are seeing, right, rejections upon these levels reaching. Okay, so if we see a market coming back down to here, we might see a rejection as well. And Bitcoin is building something interesting, like we're building this kind of inverse head and shoulders kind of, you see, and this can take months to build. Okay, I don't play these kind of patterns, but it's definitely worth it, and I'm pretty sure you're going to start seeing it on Twitter. Okay, like, oh, Bitcoin is building these inverse head and shoulders, be ready for the breakout, whatever. Yeah, but I'm telling you ahead, you know, like it's building this way. Does it work on lower time frame? Yeah, definitely. Like, let's go, for example, to the hourly chart. Okay, and let's activate the VWAP, but not on the yearly, obviously. Let's try with monthly. If it's too big, you can try lower ones. Like these months haven't been ended yet. The previous month is I think it's too big for the current price action, so I think the hourly would work with the weekly one. Okay, so we have one here, another one here, another one here. Okay, another one here, another one here, here, and here. So it works. It literally works. Right now, rejections from this level, most likely we were going to revisit this. And if we go lower, then you know the next level of support might be this one as well. Okay, so yeah, it does work in all time frames. You just need to catch, like, do I use the weekly, do I use the monthly, do I use the yearly for high time frames, and so on. Okay, that would be for the VWAP. Also, the VWAP, I have a different configuration for VWAP for example, for the intraday chart. Normally what I do is to catch the trend, you know, because the VWAP is also a trend following indicator. So often I put it on session. I set the bands multiplier at 0.2, all right? And then I put this off, and well, right now it's on green. I put this area, okay? So now you can see that on every session, I know, like on every day when VWAP price recovers VWAP, price was bullish. Price loses VWAP, price was bearish. Price recovers VWAP, price starts moving bullish. Then VWAP remains stagnant, meaning we are inside a range. Then price recovers VWAP, starts moving bullish, reject VWAP, then lose VWAP, and so on. You know, like you can use this to filter the trend on a daily basis. It's amazing. It's extremely amazing. Like I love VWAP, to be honest. and I use it on a daily basis on my trading. Um, Definitely. So that would be all for today, guys. Let me know your questions on the chats. Do you think I can ask my grandparents for $100 and then start trading, even though I'm just 16 years old, just to gain experience until my 18, because I already know some stuff? Brother, what I would recommend is for you to start trading on paper. Okay, open a demo account in whatever exchange, okay, and start trading there. Build your track record and demo. Okay, as soon as you turn 18 and you have your own money, I would say, and if you are going to ask for your grandparents for $100, then invest it in education. Okay, don't lose your grandfather's $100 in the market. Invest in your education, and believe me, it's going to turn out better than just going and waste those $100 in the market. You know. Any recommendations to where you should cash out crypto? I never seen anyone talk about it. Over and under on the 4 hour on Sol. Let me check. But any recommendations to where you should cash out of crypto? Well, brother, that depends on your strategy. That literally depends on your strategy. Because if you want to cash out of crypto, let's say, for example, on the daily chart, only by using the VWAP, you know, these levels have the same distance between them. Okay, so only by using the VWAP, I know that the next level, okay, the next level of possible resistance for Bitcoin is around 125K. And the next level of resistance for Bitcoin is around 140K. So, you know, now we have two upper resistance that can work for you in order to know where you want to cash out. You know that by hitting this resistance once again, 3 rejections overall, you needed to cash out. If we are going back to this level, then you need to cash in. Because bottom and the macro pico, like it doesn't work like that, guys. It's not about like that. So you need to set your take profits on certain levels that make sense, not just random levels, and you start cash out on those levels. Okay, for every single altcoin, not only Bitcoin. Okay, Solana, let's check. Haven't seen Solana in a while. On the 4-hour chart, I don't see any over and under, brother. Well, we had one here. See, overall market structure shift, and then the market just stopped us out. So I don't see any over and under at the moment on Sol, to be honest. What I can see is more possible downside, to be honest. You see a lot of liquidity lying below these levels, but it all depends on Bitcoin. Could you even try this on FX pairs? Yes, definitely, brother. All of my strategies. Okay, so this is interesting. You know, I started trading futures. You know, Nasdaq, S&P 500, E-minis. Then I transitioned it to Forex, like Euro USD, GBP USD, gold, US oil, etc., commodities. And I built my strategy on those assets, the one that I trade on crypto now. So all of that, what I'm showing here, can be used on Forex and commodities, and also in equities as well. And yeah, brother, Sol doesn't look nice. It doesn't look nice. Okay, it all depends on Bitcoin, to be honest, but I don't like, okay, I think like the third rule of the auction market theory, guys, this is important. Like when you have accumulation in a support level, Okay, like this, we are seeing accumulation, no continuation to the upside, accumulation on the support level. The most likely scenario is that we are going to break down. And same when we are on a resistance level. See, accumulation in resistance normally tends to break out to the upside, because a lot of people is trying to long here, and they all are going to get liquidated, as well as the ones that try to short a top. So that's why I don't like this. Brother, I don't have more time right now. Okay, so please check this video and go ahead and try it for yourself on gold, please. That it works on gold. And yeah, I know that gold is not like the easiest asset to trade, but it's possible. I was very profitable on gold, actually. It was one of my favorite pairs to trade. I transitioned at full-time crypto, but gold was actually one of my most profitable trading pairs. All right, guys. Okay, let me see. Last questions. How to deal with withdrawing profits from winnings and dealing with bank issues for large amounts. Your thoughts on this? Brother, if you are trading and winning a lot, then that means that you need to pay taxes. That's all. Like, you don't need to deal with the bank. You need to deal with the RSI. And possibly, if you don't want to move that much of money into your bank accounts, then I would suggest you're opening like crypto account. Don't put that money on your accounts without KYC, you know. So what would be the lower volume accumulation zone on Sol? Can you check VWAP on daily? Let's check VWAP on daily. Let's look at the yearly VWAP. Yeah, yearly VWAP is holding nice around here. So if you want an over and under that's actually valid, is this one, brother, the daily one. You see, market structure shift, continuation, and then a slow retrace towards this level where you want to enter the market with your stop loss below this. This is actually a good setup on the daily chart. Very nice setup for Sol. Okay, this is an actual over and under. Okay, guys, thank you very much. If you have any questions, please let me know in the chats. Tag me on Telegram. On Telegram, you can find me as BastDecode. Please tag me. BastDecode on Telegram, on the Gem Hunters group. Tag me or DM me. I will make sure to help you when I have more time over the stream. And other than that, guys, you can also tag me or DM me on Twitter as BastDecode. So make sure to reach out. I'm always going to be here for you guys. That's my promise. So thank you very much for your time, and thank you very much for all of your questions and attention. I really appreciate it, and I hope everything I share is useful. So have a nice week ahead, brothers. Take care. Use proper risk management. Take care of your money, and let's rock it. Okay, bye bye.